What's going on? I'm excited because today this video is sponsored by Melon, or Streamlabs, Melon's parent company, and we're talking about Melon obviously because if you haven't heard of it, it's a really cool platform that's going to allow you to live stream without setting up things like OBS or Streamlabs, and you can do it all from the web. You can invite guests. This is going to be great for something like a podcast or even trainings, whatever you find the use case for. It's really useful. You can add graphics, we can record, we can do a bunch of really cool things, and it's very customizable, and I hope you're going to like it. So let's go ahead and jump over to the computer. So before we go ahead and jump into Melon, I want to mention a thing or two. You're going to see the terms new or beta for certain features and options that are out there, and that is because Melon is constantly upgrading and bringing you new features based off of user feedback. So be sure to send your suggestions and your feedback to support@melonapp.com. It should be on screen somewhere, and I'll even link it in the description down below. Go ahead, shoot them an email, tell them what you think and some other cool stuff that you might like to see inside of Melon. All right, so now that we're over at the computer and we are on Melon's website, melonapp.com, and there are a ton of settings that we can use and adjust, and we can use this to add other people to invite them to our live stream for, say, like a podcast style setting, which is great. We can stream our computer screen if we wanted to play video games or browse stuff on the web while we're also doing a podcast. Maybe that could work out pretty well, and we can record and go live from here as well as keep up with our chat, add other camera sources in, and add text and graphics and a bunch of other really cool stuff, and it's really neat. I do want to mention that it is a free service that you can get, and then you can pay more money for some of the other features. So we'll put a graphic on screen so you guys can see what those services look like and the advanced features of those. I'll try to cover those whenever we do use a feature that is considered a pro or a higher level membership form of feature. So I'll try to be able to be sure to mention that to you. So the first thing you might notice is this screen is very blank, and that's because the canvas is pretty much nothing on it right now. And if we click show on stream with our camera, well, there we go. Our camera is now on stream, and it might be a little bit out of sync. If so, try not to let that bother you too much. I might fix that in post if I can, but we'll see. It might be a little more confusing for me than it is for you. We can adjust things like the camera position if we wanted to, if it's just me talking. We have, our design is going to allow us to change the background in any way that we want to. So we could edit the current theme, or we could find a different theme that we like and go with it. And it gives us a lot of customization because we have the option to customize the background, some overlays and stuff on that. So for example, let's say I didn't like that overlay and I preferred this one. I could go with that, but let's say I just don't prefer to have an extra overlay on there. I can go this route, or I could go here and I could add this, which looks kind of similar. This looks like they were made for each other. But yeah, I just want to go with this plain background here, or if you just wanted to use a color, you could go that route too. We can adjust the font. So if we wanted to go with more of a modern-ish looking font, we can go with that. We can change the color of that font. If we wanted it to say be like almost like a how-to tech blue, we could go with that. And let's see, let's try to get that a little closer. We could go with that if we like that. And we can change a bunch of other stuff here too. So if we wanted it to be round, we could have it set to round. We can have it to the default box type shape, and even do a casual, or even just boxy, where it's just plain boxy. I kind of like the rounded shape. I feel like it kind of goes with our background, and I think it looks pretty cool. So I'm gonna go with that. And like I said, there's tons of customizations. You can upload your own stuff here, which is really cool. Now I do want to adjust one thing. I want to add the How To Tech logo to this. So we can actually, if we wanted to cue Melon's logos, I think these are on by default if you're using the free version. And if you wanted to go to the next tier up, you could actually replace that. So I'm actually on the first paid tier that I'm using right now. There's another tier past that lets you multi-stream to a ton of different platforms, record, and I believe stream in 1080p, and a bunch of other cool stuff like that. So if that's something you're interested in, it's an option. So I'm gonna add my logo in, and there we go. We got the How To Tech logo up there in the top. And once again, there's just all new themes. New themes are added. Cool. We can go get more stuff if we want it, but I'm gonna kind of stick to the customization part of where we can really go in and tune it the way we want to. So we've kind of messed with our themes and our logo and our overlays. Let's look at what we've got next, which is the text section. I'm gonna go through the customization part of this, and then I'm gonna show you the uses for streaming and as well as adding other people to this, because it's actually very easy to do those things. So use our timestamps down below by all means if you're curious about something else and you're just like, I don't care about all this customization. It's pretty cool though. They give us a lot. We can add in custom banners. So we could say, thanks for watching, you know, and we can add that banner. And then after that banner's added, all we have to go is go over to it and click on show. And now our banner will show up, and I could adjust the banner or move the banner around wherever I want to. So let's say I wanted my banner right around here, or if I wanted the banner, yeah, let's say the banner right here, we could do that. And I believe this is based off of our theme, so we could adjust the coloring of that if we wanted to, or if we wanted to turn the banner off, we can just say goodbye, see you later banner. We've got a ticker. A ticker is kind of like what you see for like news and stuff, where you've got stuff scrolling at the bottom, or like say for sports, if you got scores scrolling at the bottom. So let's just say how to tech 1, other channel 0, and they're 0 because they don't have the best subscribers. I feel like I might have just misspelled channel, being dyslexic at the moment, don't know why. But you can see here that yeah, we could have a ticker at the bottom, or something that's really cool, especially if you do like pre-recorded formats for videos and you don't want to mess with stuff like OBS or Streamlabs desktops. Depending on what device you're on, if you're on like a Chromebook, this might actually be very useful because you can't download those programs. Or if you're borrowing somebody's computer and you need to do this and you don't want to download a bunch of clutter to their machine, well, you can do this from this account. So let's go ahead and say, this is my script. Hopefully you like this video, right? And click add. And then if we click on show, it just starts playing our script. And we could turn that on and off through there, and we can even pause it. I wish there was a little bit more fine-tuned controls on stopping and starting this, because I don't really see a way to take it back or rewind it. But we can change, I didn't notice that. You can actually change the speed at which it plays back at. So that's really, really good, especially if you're on a laptop. This is gonna be perfect because it's gonna almost look like you're looking at the camera while you're doing that. So that's pretty cool. Let's go down to the video section. This is where it gets pretty cool because they have pre-rendered and set up intros and outros. So if you wanted to add an intro or an outro, or if you have a computer or a browser that supports using green screen, you could actually do green screen or even a blue screen through this and set up a custom fancy background if you wanted to use that. Let's go ahead and click on one of these. I'm actually going to mute my desktop audio because I did this earlier and I noticed it does play music in the background and it's actually kind of loud. So let's go with this one. There we go. Yeah, so I went ahead and muted it, but it essentially plays through. It mutes your microphone. I don't know if you saw that. It mutes your microphone, which is down here, similar to like your other streaming platforms like Zoom and Hangouts and all that cool stuff. But it automatically mutes it whenever you're playing that, so you don't accidentally, start talking about stuff before you start your podcast or your stream, and that's in the background while they're listening to the music. So pretty neat that you kind of have that option, and we can even filter some of these things. They have stuff specifically for outros. So if we wanted to do an outro of thanks for watching, we could play that, and there you go. And once again, it muted the microphone as well. So really neat stuff, not too bad. And the thing I like about this is it's super intuitive. They've done a lot of work, you can tell, at making this easy for people to have a professional looking live stream. Especially if I do a podcast, I feel like I'm gonna have to go this route because it's just super easy to set this stuff up, and it just carries around with you. So you can go log into your Melon account at your buddy's house and decide to do your podcast there. Well, you're good as long as you got the right equipment as far as microphones and stuff. But yeah, pretty neat. We have some advanced settings that lets us change whether or not we want to do full HD output. Once again, this is something that comes with that plan of having the Pro plan. There are a lot more features that you get out of it that are really cool, and it gives you like extra file storage and being able to stream for up to 10 hours per stream, which is kind of crazy. I don't know if I would ever really do that, but you know, there are those options for those use cases for people that really want to do that kind of stuff. And it's not overly expensive for the amount of things that you're getting in it. It's taking up a lot of horsepower on a server. So you got to think of it as really, in a way, a stream PC replacement in that regard. Now, would you want to use this as opposed to, you know, say Streamlabs whenever you're going to record, you know, or live stream for, say, a video game? Maybe not. I would have to test that out to really see. But for this kind of, you know, use case of where you're trying to do a meeting, or if you're trying to do something that is more of a live stream or recorded format, it's really, really good to be able to use this in that platform. And it's just kind of a very versatile program compared to, or web service compared to something like Zoom. It just gives you a lot more features. We have the ability to be able to record in here, which is really neat. So we can record. We've got local recording, which I like. I like the ability to local record. I've used things like Zoom before and used their cloud recording, and I could not get the recordings off. That is a nightmare if that ever happens. So you have the ability to do both of those as well as live stream. So you can really make sure that you're going to have your content after you're done. You could change your name if you're a participant. So if I wanted to change my name or change my avatar not to be my default Google account avatar, I could change that. We can show the people's names down there or get rid of them. We can change the audio status if we wanted to remove that, and even remove text to speech. So what this does is whenever somebody joins, it does text to speech and lets them know that so-and-so's joined the chat. So we can remove that if we wanted to, and even change speaker indication, which is going to kind of highlight our bubble or our video camera or whatever, or even our avatar if we're not streaming our camera, and it's going to let people know who's talking. And we can even remove or change the name placement if we wanted the names at the top instead of at the bottom. So yeah, you got a lot of options through here, and I probably would keep everything on but text to speech on join. That's just personally something I don't care for. We can do the ticker. We can adjust that if we wanted to reverse the direction. So instead of going this way, or I guess this way for you guys, it would go that way. And we can even show that on the top instead of on the bottom. We also have some apps that are built in, so we can use some widgets from Streamlabs, which is really cool. So you can get like alerts and widgets set up through there. I'm not gonna jump into that today mainly because you have to have a Streamlabs account. I've got one, and I just don't feel like that's really applicable for what we're doing right now because I'm trying to cover the whole program. But there's some really cool stuff with like social media and even CloudBot by Streamlabs. So if you use their services for stuff like alerts, or even for a chat moderation bot and things like that, this gives you access to that stuff inside of Melon. So it's one ecosystem that works very well. So we've covered pretty much most of these settings, and one thing I want to mention is that this is currently the default profile. So if you use this for more than one thing, you can actually set up multiple profiles and switch back and forth between them, which is really handy. Now we can once again use this for live streaming, so we could actually click on go live if we wanted to, and then add any of our destinations that we want to and select where we want to go. So if I wanted to stream to my personal channel, I could stream to it, and I can make that public, private, or unlisted. And I can even add other destinations such as Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, and you know, some other stuff that are out there as well. We could decide if we wanted to just record. We could click just record, type in a title for our recording, and start recording. This allows us to view the stream chat and even a private chat between our team. So if we have other people that use, I believe, Melon, we'd be able to chat with them while we're live streaming. We can say, hey, how do you feel about talking about this topic next after our break? Yeah, go ahead, use that for that. It's going to be really neat for you to be able to have that flexibility whenever it comes to it. We can also schedule our broadcast. So if we wanted to set up a scheduled broadcast, we could go in here, do that, select the platform, the type, details, and share the link out beforehand if you want people to be able to come in here, say later. This is like a real good alternative for something, once again, like Zoom, of where we wanted to add people and schedule it for a certain time. We can set that stuff up beforehand and they'll already have the link. We can enable dark mode, which I absolutely love. Thank you for including it. I'm going to leave it off since I've had it off pretty much the whole video. We've got notifications inside of there, and we can even click that little bar. Once we click on something, we can actually collapse this whole right side if we don't feel like we need it. So now I'm going to show you how easy it is to add somebody else to your broadcast or recording. It's as simple as going up here and clicking invite guest. Then you get a link. Go ahead, copy that link or email it out to whoever you want to join. So I'm going to copy copy that link, and I'm gonna go ahead and launch it on my other computer and join. I don't have a camera on that computer, but you can actually see what it looks like whenever somebody else joins. All right, so now that I've joined on my other computer, I wanna mention that, like, once again, I don't have a camera on that one, and I went ahead and muted the microphone so we don't get a bunch of feedback into, you know, the program there, because I don't want that, unfortunately. So let's go ahead and click on show on stream, and we can see that if I had my other camera up, this other person, or Chad V2, is now here. And the thing I like about this is it's so easy to adjust this. So if I wanted more of this, you know, side by side view, this might work great, but maybe the framing's not good for the other person and you want to go, say, more like this. You can do that, and we can even use it with other people. So if we had other participants in here, we could do that as well, and even change this around. However we want to, we can move these around and get the view that we want. At any point in time, we can go ahead and decide to make somebody else full screen. So if we wanted to make myself full screen, I can click here or click Chad V2. And if I wanted to hide Chad V2 on the stream, I can do that, and then it's gonna bounce right back to me. That easy to go ahead and set that stuff up. Now that we've kind of covered, you know, most of those settings and those things, let's talk about, you know, some of our advanced controls. So for our microphone, we also have hotkeys, so that's something to keep in mind. And I believe you can actually go ahead and change those in the settings. Don't hold me to that, but I believe you can. I saw something in there earlier on hotkeys. But we can click this right here. We can remove echo cancellation. We can set our input and our output devices, and auto adjust the microphone, which is actually pretty cool. We can mute just by simply clicking on mute, or we can once again use that hotkey. We can do the same thing with the video, or change our video device back, change our resolution if we wanted to. So if we upgraded to Pro, we could do in full 1080p, or we can even decide to mirror our video if that's something that we feel like we need. We can add additional cameras. I'm not going to, because I've noticed with my computer, since I use a cam link and I don't have a webcam, it messes with my cam link, but that's not a problem with Melon. That's kind of a problem with my recording setup. We can, if we wanted to, I'm going to minimize OBS on the side that I'm using to record this video with, and we're going to go ahead and share our screen. So heads up for you, share your screen, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Let's click I understand. And now we can decide to stream our screen. So if we wanted to stream our main screen here, we could. If we wanted to stream our secondary screen, we can click here. And if we wanted our audio to go through to the stream, we can click this button right here. So if you were playing like a video game or something, this could work out great. Or if you wanted to stream different windows, possibly that could be a video game, you could click there and do that as well. So I'm gonna click screen 2 and click share system audio, and there we go. But you're not seeing it on the stream yet because it's set up the same way that this is over here. So if I click on show on stream, it immediately goes ahead and sets this view up. Now we have multiple options for these views as well. So if I go ahead and enable the other person, the other Chad V2, we can see that person shows up here. Or we can decide to hide Chad V2 and put, say, the people above, or we can even put ourselves inside. I'm actually curious where Chad V2 goes. Okay, so that doesn't really work for that view of having multiple people there, but you've got that, and we can even move myself to the other side or change this around altogether entirely different. So that easy, and then you click that button and you're done sharing your screen. We can do reactions in here. So if we click this, we can do hand claps and stuff like this. This is pretty common with things like Zoom and other programs that are used for like meeting software. So it works great for that. So you can ask people, what did you think about this? And they can say, clap, that was good. I like that portion of the training. I don't know. You got the options for that there. And once again, we have the ability to click here to go record and here to go live. And we've already kind of showcased that where you can click those buttons. So it's very easy to use. It's got a lot of versatility in being able to be used for, broadcasting, say if you're on the go, or if you wanted to try playing video games. I don't know how well that's going to work. That's something I'd have to say you want to check out. You could do that with the free version and see if that works well for you and your use case. But I think it's going to be great for things like podcast. If you wanted to set up meetings with other people, it's so simple to go ahead and click invite guest, copy the link, paste it in a chat. They can join immediately. It's a really cool service. seamless, easy to use, lots of customization, and there's multiple tiers. So if you don't need all of the crazy expensive stuff that's in it in the, not crazy expensive, but the higher tier plan of where you're multi-streaming out to a ton of different sites and you don't need 1080p, well, they've got another paid tier option that's going to be a little bit more reasonable for those that want to not use this at a full-fledged, business point of view, if you get what I'm saying. So there are, like I said, tons of options with this. So after taking a look at Melon, let us know what you guys think about it. I think it is pretty cool and has a ton of flexibility for people that just don't have the ability to carry around a really nice computer to, say live stream all the time. It's going to be good for on the run, you want to go somewhere else and you want to live stream. Well, it's just in the browser. You go ahead and log into your account, plug in a webcam and a microphone, and you have a beautiful setup for being able to invite guests and having a professional looking podcast, or even, just live stream. You've got the options there, and I can see a ton of flexibility with that. So alright guys, that's going to be all for this video. If you enjoyed, you know what to do. Go ahead, destroy that like button, get subscribed, and turn on notifications for future videos like our OBS teleport plugin that we're going to be looking at. It works with, I believe, OBS and Streamlabs, and it lets you take a computer in your room, or say on the other side of your house in the same network, and pipe it into the current iteration of OBS you're using. So you could have like 4 or 5 computers running OBS and all sending a signal to your main stream PC, which is going to be really, really cool if you want that flexibility from multiple stations for, say, like you have a gaming station, or maybe you wanted to set up a LAN center and you wanted to stream multiple POVs. Well, you could do that with this setup. Also, if you want to check out some more advanced OBS, or Stream Deck plugins, then be sure to check that video out. It's coming out very soon, so get subscribed if you aren't already. And if you want to check out some of our other videos, you can check those out on screen right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been Chad from How To Tech, helping you take your tech to the next level, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.